Thousands of Florida women lost their access to abortion care Wednesday as the state's ban took effect after months of failed legal challenges to block it. Performing or participating in an abortion after 6 weeks is now a felony in Florida. That's before most women even know they're pregnant. The only exceptions are in cases of rape, incest, or to save the mother's life. For women seeking an abortion in Florida, they will need to drive 3 states away. The closest clinic is in North Carolina. Depending on where in the Sunshine State you live, that could take 12 hours. Then things get even more complicated because North Carolina requires a 72-hour waiting period before performing the procedure. CBS News political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns joins me now from Jacksonville, Florida. Caitlin, what does the law actually mean in practice for people in Florida and the surrounding states as well?
Well, John, that map that you just showed is really important because it shows that Florida was one of the few states since the fall of Roe v. Wade that had fewer restrictions since other states passed restrictions or near total bans nearby. So Florida had actually seen an influx of patients from neighboring states that had banned the procedure. Now it is essentially illegal in most cases to have an abortion here. So that means, as you mentioned, those seeking the procedure will have to drive far distances, but it also shows that the South has really kind of solidified in terms of near total bans or outright bans in this region.
And what's the reaction been at this juncture in the state?
Well, John, yesterday we spoke to a OBGYN who offered abortion services in the final hours before it would become illegal. And she said that she was very concerned, as many physicians are, about what this means for physicians offering basic maternal care. And we've seen this in other states. Those women suffering miscarriages and doctors, afraid to offer common practices to treat those miscarriages. And other sorts of similar types of situations. She said that she was concerned about that and what that means for physicians here just offering basic maternal health care. But on the other hand, we spoke to a Republican lawmaker who was supportive of that bill, who wants Florida to be a model for other states. This was a long road to what he said was an achievement here. This is something, of course, Ron DeSantis signed into law last April.
Now, of course, there's an election, but there's also a measure on the ballot in Florida. So give us the electoral and political implications of this for November.
Yeah, John, voters will have a chance to weigh in with a constitutional ballot measure that would amend the state's constitution to add protections for abortion access. Now, in every state since the fall of Roe v. Wade, where this has been on the ballot, even in red and swing states, it has passed. But in Florida, the threshold for passage is 60%. When you think about how it passed in states like Ohio and Kansas, they got about, upwards of 56, 58, 59 almost percent, not 60%. 60% is a very high watermark, which means that in order for this to pass, they're going to need support from a significant amount of Republicans. And also, they would hope that, or banking on the idea of people splitting their tickets. In other words, voting for Donald Trump while also voting in support of that measure. So that is a very uphill climb and something to consider as we look at all the ballot measures across the country. But it's significant here in a battleground state. That's why Kamala Harris was here today. The president was here last week.
Yeah, well, I bet Kamala Harris doesn't want those split ticket voters, though. She would like people voting for the abortion measure to go ahead and vote for Joe Biden. What did she say when she was in the state?
Well, she placed this law squarely at the feet of Donald Trump, saying that this was Trump's fault, essentially. And she's been calling these abortion bans that have been put into place across the country, naming them Trump abortion bans. She used his name more times in this speech than she has in any other speech this cycle, which shows you kind of the way in which the campaign believes this is a defining issue for their reelection.
And he making that claim because he named the Supreme Court justices that led to the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, Trump has also reiterated his position that this should be left up to the states. Even when asked about severe consequences that states could impose, he has said repeatedly, including in a New Time magazine interview just published yesterday, that this should be left up to the states.
Caitlin Huey-Burns in Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you.